Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting journey into the world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating history and astonishing value of the 1971 D. Washington quarter dollar. This is a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors across the globe and continues to surprise us with its incredible worth in today's market. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Over the years, this design became one of the most widely circulated coins in American history. But among the millions struck, certain mint years and mint marks stand out, and one of the most fascinating examples is the 1971 Denver Mint issue. Now, you may be wondering, what makes the 1971 D quarter dollar so special? The answer lies in its rarity, its history, and the unexpected twists in how collectors value it. While millions of these coins rolled off the presses, only a small fraction survive today in pristine condition, making them treasures worth far more than face value. The Denver Mint in 1971 produced quarters with the signature D mint mark, which quickly became sought after by coin enthusiasts. Not all coins are created equal, and the quality of striking, preservation, and condition can mean the difference between a regular pocket change quarter and one worth thousands of dollars. Collectors often search tirelessly for quarters with sharp details, clean surfaces, and little to no wear. And when it comes to the 1971 D, coins in high grades, especially those with bright luster and minimal contact marks, have commanded astonishing prices at auctions. But the story doesn't stop there. Certain rare varieties and errors from 1971 make these coins even more desirable. Mis-strikes, doubled dies, off-center strikes, and other minting anomalies have been recorded, and each one adds an extra layer of excitement for collectors willing to chase them down. Imagine holding a coin that was struck over 50 years ago, one that slipped through the cracks of ordinary circulation and survived in nearly flawless condition. This is what gives the 1971 D quarter dollar its powerful aura of rarity and prestige. Now, the question on everyone's mind: just how valuable can this coin be? The truth is, in top condition, the 1971 D quarter has been known to sell for jaw-dropping amounts. Depending on grade and rarity, these coins have crossed the $4,000 threshold at major auctions, setting records that astonish even seasoned collectors. Yes, you heard that correctly. What was once just a simple quarter dollar can now bring in more than $10,000 in the right circumstances. That is the magic of coin collecting. What seems ordinary at first glance can transform into a life-changing treasure. And here is what makes it even more inspiring. You could be holding one of these valuable coins right now without even realizing it. Every quarter in your pocket change has a story, and the 1971 D is one of the most remarkable tales ever told in American numismatics. Ladies and gentlemen, the history of this coin is not just about money. It's about legacy, craftsmanship, and the thrill of discovery. Each 1971 D quarter carries with it the weight of history and the promise of extraordinary value for those who appreciate its significance. If you're a coin collector, or even just someone curious about hidden treasures, this is your chance to join the hunt. Because every time you look through your collection, or even just your spare change, you have the potential to uncover a coin that could be worth thousands of dollars. The 1971 D quarter teaches us a valuable lesson. Never underestimate the power of preservation. Coins that were carefully saved, protected, and cherished are the ones that now command the highest prices in the market. So, should you keep it? Absolutely. A 1971 D Washington quarter dollar, especially one in superb condition, should be preserved with pride. Place it in a protective case, seal it from the elements, and treasure it as part of your personal history. And when the time comes to sell, remember this: the coin market is alive and thriving. Collectors are constantly searching for rare and valuable pieces like the 1971 D. With the right buyer, your coin could easily fetch thousands, and in some cases, exceed the $5,000 mark. Think about that for a moment. A small piece of metal, once worth just 25 cents, now holds the potential to change your financial future. That is why so many collectors are motivated and inspired by stories like this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next time you look at your spare change, do it with fresh eyes. The 1971 D quarter dollar is a shining reminder that treasures are hidden all around us, waiting to be discovered, valued, and cherished. Next up, the 1972 D. Washington Quarter Dollar. This is not just an ordinary coin. It is a piece of American history that has grown to become a collector's dream and a symbol of hidden wealth in everyday change. The Washington Quarter was originally introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the nation's founding father. Over the decades, it became one of the most trusted and widely circulated coins across the country. And in 1972, the Denver Mint produced millions of these quarters, each bearing the tiny D mint mark that distinguishes it from those struck in Philadelphia. At first glance, you might assume that every 1972 D quarter is the same, just another coin from the pocket change of the early 1970s. But the truth is far more exciting. Among the millions that were produced, there are special survivors. Coins in exceptional condition, coins with minting varieties, and coins that have been preserved like time capsules, that now carry values far beyond their humble face value. Why is the 1972 D quarter so valuable? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, preservation, and demand. Coins that circulated heavily show scratches, wear, and fading details. But those that were tucked away in collections, or came off the press with flawless striking quality, can fetch extraordinary amounts today. In fact, the 1972 D has become one of the most talked about quarters from the early 1970s because of its auction records. Coins graded in the highest levels by professional services have sold for several $1,000s, with certain examples crossing the $3,000 mark. For a $quarter that once bought a gumball or a newspaper, that is truly astonishing. But the story does not end with its present value. Collectors see the 1972 D quarter as a coin with tremendous future potential. As time moves forward, the number of surviving high-grade examples will only shrink. Natural wear, damage, and handling will reduce their availability, while demand from passionate collectors will continue to rise. That simple law of supply and demand points to one conclusion. The value of this coin can go even higher in the years to come. Think about it. 50 years ago, nobody imagined that a quarter from the 1970s could one day be worth thousands of dollars. And yet, here we are. If the trend continues, we could see these coins reaching values of $4,100 or more in pristine condition, especially as rare error examples are discovered and auctioned. Now, let's pause to appreciate the beauty of this coin. On the obverse, the proud profile of George Washington reminds us of the nation's enduring spirit. On the reverse, the majestic eagle spreads its wings in strength and determination. This is not only a currency, it is a work of art, struck in metal to capture both history and pride. The 1972 D quarter also represents a transitional period in American coinage. By this time, the composition had shifted from silver to copper-nickel clad, but the fascination with collecting remained strong. And today, that fascination translates into serious money for anyone lucky enough to possess one of these gems. Collectors are constantly scouring through rolls of quarters, old jars, and forgotten stashes, hoping to find a 1972 D in mint state. The thrill of discovery keeps the hunt alive, and the rewards are real. If you are holding one of these coins in superb condition, you are not just holding 25 cents, you are holding a treasure worth thousands of dollars. The current market shows us exactly what is possible. While average circulated examples may not draw headlines, the top-tier coins with blazing luster and immaculate surfaces bring in the big numbers. Auction houses have proudly displayed 1972 D quarters achieving prices that leave audiences stunned, and collectors inspired to search even harder. So, can the 1972 D quarter be valuable in the future? Absolutely. With its history, its limited supply in high grades, and its growing demand, this coin has all the ingredients of a long-term collectible that will continue to rise in value as time passes. For those of you asking about maximum potential, imagine a scenario where one coin sells for a record-breaking price of $5,000 or more. It has already happened with other Washington quarters of similar years and mint marks. The only question is when we will see the 1972 D break through those same barriers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why coin collecting is so magical. It transforms everyday objects into timeless treasures. It reminds us that hidden in plain sight are fortunes waiting to be discovered, stories waiting to be told, and wealth waiting to be uncovered. If you have a 1972 D Washington quarter, protect it. Place it in a holder, keep it safe, and cherish it. You may be holding a coin whose value will only grow with each passing year. And if you are still searching, let this story be your motivation. Because the thrill of the hunt, the excitement of discovery, and the chance to turn a quarter into thousands of dollars is what makes collecting one of the most rewarding hobbies on Earth. Remember, history rewards those who preserve it. The 1972 D-quarter dollar is living proof of that lesson. What once was ordinary has become extraordinary, and what lies ahead could be even more astonishing. Next up, the 1980 D Washington quarter dollar. This coin, struck in the city of Denver and marked with the iconic D mint mark, has become one of the most talked about quarters from the late 20th century. The Washington quarter itself was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, and it became one of the most beloved coins in the United States. By the year 1980, the design had already been in circulation for nearly 5 decades, and yet collectors were still finding reasons to celebrate each new year and each unique mint mark. The 1980 D-quarter was minted during a time of economic change in America. Inflation was climbing, the value of money was shifting, and yet the quarter remained a cornerstone of everyday commerce. While millions were produced, not all of them would survive in pristine condition, and that is where the story of value truly begins. Every collector knows that rarity alone does not create value. It is the combination of rarity, demand, and preservation that transforms a coin into a treasure. And the 1980 D-quarter meets these conditions beautifully. Coins struck in Denver often display sharp details and strong minting, making them desirable when preserved with care. So, how many people want to buy the 1980 D-quarter? The answer may surprise you. Across America and around the world, tens of thousands of collectors are actively searching for these coins in mint state condition. Whether through online marketplaces, coin shows, or private auctions, demand for the 1980 D is strong and continues to grow. And the reason is simple. The coin carries both historical weight and financial promise. Collectors are drawn to it because it represents an era of American resilience, while investors are drawn to it because of its potential to climb in value. Together, they form a powerful market that keeps this coin in high demand. The current value of a 1980 D-quarter depends heavily on its condition. Circulated examples may not carry dramatic price tags, but those preserved in stunning mint state condition have been known to bring in hundreds and even thousands of dollars. At major auctions, some high-grade examples have climbed as high as $3,500, proving that this coin has already broken into the upper tier of numismatic value. And remember, the market is always evolving. Today's record may be tomorrow's starting point, and tomorrow's headline may bring numbers even higher. If a flawless example were to appear, with perfect strike and blazing luster, there is no doubt that it could sell for more than $5,100 in the right auction setting. The history of this coin makes it even more exciting. Struck in 1980, it was made not from silver, but from the modern copper-nickel-clad alloy, which was introduced in the mid-1960s. This change in composition gave the quarter strength and durability for circulation, but it also meant that finding well-preserved examples decades later would be a true challenge. That challenge is what drives collectors today. They know that hidden in collections, in forgotten rolls, and in old coin jars are 1980 D-quarters that could be worth thousands. And they are willing to pay top dollar to own one, because every coin tells a story, and every story adds to its value. Is the value really high or low? Ladies and gentlemen, it is absolutely high. Compared to its face value of just 25 cents, the 1980 D-quarter has multiplied its worth by staggering amounts. And the best part is that this coin still has room to grow. Think about this. The coin is already more than 40 years old, and every year that passes only increases its rarity in top grades. Fewer and fewer examples remain in flawless condition, and that scarcity guarantees upward momentum for its value. The maximum price this coin can reach in the future is difficult to predict, but history gives us strong clues. Other Washington quarters of similar rarity and quality have crossed the $6,000 mark. It is only a matter of time before the 1980 D joins them, setting records that will astonish the collecting community. So, if you are lucky enough to own one, do not underestimate it. Protect it, cherish it, and keep it safe. A coin like this deserves to be sealed in a protective holder, shielded from wear, and recognized for the treasure it truly is. And if you are still searching, let this motivate you. Because at any moment, in a coin roll, in a family collection, or even in your pocket change, you could discover a 1980 D. Washington Quarter that transforms your life. That is the power of numismatics, the magic of history, and the thrill of the hunt. Collectors from all corners of the world understand this passion. They know that coins like the 1980 D are more than metal. They are keys to history and tickets to financial opportunity. That is why so many people want to buy them, and why the competition to own them is fierce. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next time you look at a quarter, look closely. You might just be holding a coin worth thousands. You might just be holding a piece of America's story. And you might just be holding your very own treasure. Next up, the 1985 P. Washington Quarter Dollar. This coin, struck at the Philadelphia Mint and bearing the P mint mark, is far more than an ordinary piece of pocket change. It is a collectible that has captured the imagination of coin enthusiasts around the globe. The history of the Washington Quarter goes all the way back to 1932, when it was first introduced to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Over the years, it became one of the most iconic and trusted coins in circulation. By the time 1985 arrived, the quarter had already been in production for more than half a century, and yet each new issue brought with it fresh stories, discoveries, and treasures. The 1985 P Quarter was struck in the heart of Philadelphia, a city rich with American history. It was produced during a period when the U.S. Mint was modernizing its processes, yet the artistry of the coin remained rooted in tradition. Millions were made, but only a fraction would survive in pristine condition, and that scarcity is what creates its extraordinary value today. Collectors around the world seek out the 1985 P Quarter for its rarity in high grades. Most examples entered circulation, where they were spent, handled, and worn down through daily use. But a small number were set aside, preserved with care, and these are the coins that can now command impressive prices on the open market. Where can you buy such a coin? The answer is exciting. You can find it in coin shops, at major auctions, through trusted online marketplaces, or even from private collectors who understand its worth. Collectors are always trading, buying, and selling, which means opportunities are constantly available for those who are motivated to search. And where can you sell it? The options are equally wide. If you own a 1985 P. Washington Quarter in superb condition, you can take it to professional coin dealers, sell it at prestigious coin shows, or list it through online platforms where thousands of eager buyers are waiting. The demand for this coin is strong, and that demand ensures competitive prices. Now, let's talk about its value. High-grade examples of the 1985 P Quarter have already sold for astonishing amounts. At auctions, coins graded near perfection have crossed the $4,500 mark, and with the right combination of quality and timing, some are capable of reaching even higher. That is the magic of numismatics. What once was worth just 25 cents can now bring in thousands of dollars. Is it worth that much? Absolutely. The market has proven time and time again that collectors are willing to pay serious money for the best preserved examples. And when you consider the rarity of finding such coins untouched by circulation, the high value begins to make perfect sense. Should you keep it if you have one? Without a doubt, yes. A 1985 P. Washington Quarter in mint state is a treasure worth holding onto. Keeping it safe means you are protecting not just a coin, but also a piece of American history and a growing financial asset. Should it be sealed? Definitely. Sealing a coin in a protective holder ensures that it remains in the best possible condition, shielded from scratches, dirt, and handling. Coins that are preserved properly always bring higher prices than those exposed to damage. If you are serious about maximizing value, sealing is a must. And what about the maximum prize? The sky is the limit. With each passing year, as more collectors enter the hobby and as the number of flawless examples shrinks, the price can climb even higher. Experts believe that we could see perfect 1985 P Quarters reach $5,400 or more in the future, and perhaps even break records if sold at the right auction. Think about that for a moment. A coin that most people overlook as ordinary change could one day sell for an amount that changes someone's financial story. That is why so many collectors are motivated, passionate, and dedicated to the hunt. The beauty of the 1985 P Quarter lies not only in its design, featuring George Washington's proud profile and the majestic eagle on the reverse, but also in its symbolism. It represents strength, heritage, and the hidden wealth that surrounds us in the most unexpected places. This is why people love coin collecting. Every coin tells a story. Every mint mark has significance. And every year of issue carries secrets that can unlock surprising fortunes. The 1985 P. Washington quarter is a perfect example of this truth. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you come across one of these coins, treat it with respect. Place it in a holder, research its condition, and consider it as part of a treasure chest of American history. You may be holding far more than just a piece of metal. You may be holding a life-changing collectible. Buyers are out there, eager and ready. Sellers are discovering that their coins are worth more than they ever dreamed. And the market is alive, thriving, and filled with opportunities for those willing to explore. This is your invitation to join the world of numismatics, to search your change, to explore your family's collections, and to dive into a world where small coins lead to big rewards. The 1985 P. Washington quarter is proof that fortunes are hidden in plain sight. Ladies and gentlemen, do not underestimate the coin in your hand. The 1985 P. quarter dollar is valuable today, it will be valuable tomorrow, and its story is still unfolding. Protect it, believe in it, and you may just discover its true power.